We're about a month into this season. Everyone's played between 30 and 36 games, so about 20% of the season is down, and this seems like a good time to hand out our first round of grades. This isn't just based on record, it's also based on expectation, so a team overperforming with a 500 record is going to get a better grade than a team underperforming with the same record. Let's start with the teams getting an A+, and end with the teams getting a big fat F. We got two teams with an A+, and the first one is the Cleveland Guardians. Not a lot of expectations for this team, but they're playing 9 games over 500. They're top 10 in baseball in offense and pitching, 4th best with runners in scoring position, and their bullpen ranks 2nd in all of baseball. Their starting pitching is actually bottom half at number 18, so that's one cause for concern. The other A+ belongs to the Brewers. So far, this is a team I've been the most wrong about. I thought they were going to tear it down after trading Corbin Burnes, but they're playing 8 games over 500. No surprise, their pitching is only 19th in baseball, mostly driven by their poor starting pitching, but right now they're being carried by their offense. They're number 3 in the majors, William Contreras being the main driver there. We have 5 A's to hand out, and the first one goes to the Orioles. They had sky-high expectations going into 2024, and they're sitting 11 games over 500, 4th in offense, 6th in pitching. They're just firing on all cylinders, and that's despite getting nothing out of Jackson Holliday. The Yankees also get an A. They came out hot and they've maintained that pretty well. 9 games over 500. Their offense has been about middle of the pack despite Juan Soto playing so well, but Aaron Judge still needs to get it going. Despite not having Garrett Cole, their pitching ranks 3rd, mostly thanks to that top-ranked bullpen. Year in, year out, that pen is always their strongest point, and that's a big reason they've won 9 of 12 one-run games. The Royals get an A. For a team that lost well over 100 games last year, they've come back strong to start, 6 games over 500. Top half in offense, top 10 in pitching, their starters standing in the top 5, getting great performances from Seth Lugo, Brady Singer, Alex Marsh, and Cole Ragans. The Phillies get an A. They've played themselves in the first place, 12 games over 500, a team with high expectations, and this year they seem to be putting it together early in the season, not just in the playoffs. Number 7 in offense, number 5 in pitching, their starters sitting at number 2, driven by Ranger Suarez, Spencer Turnbull, and Zach Wheeler. That bullpen is 7th worst in baseball, so there's something they need to improve, but they've still won 7 of 9 one-run games. The Braves get an A. They just got passed up by the Phillies, but they're still 9 games over 500. Their pitching is top half, but not great. No surprise, especially after losing Spencer Strider, but that offense is ridiculous. They're number 2 in the league, number 1 with runners in scoring position. You really can't complain about the Braves despite the crazy expectations. We got 2 A- to give out, and the first one's going to the A's. It was shaping up to be another miserable season. This team soon to be homeless, ownership not seeming to care about winning, but here they are with a 500 record. Their offense is still bottom 5, so to explain this good start, you have to look at their pitching. They're top half, and that's despite their 24th ranked starting staff. The bullpen is top 3 in baseball. Mason Miller, Lucas Erceg, Austin Adams. They're cruising with ERAs under 2. The other A- goes to the Dodgers. For a so-called super team, they're still among the best in baseball, but not blowing anyone away. They're 9 games over 500, the same as the Yankees, Guardians, and Braves, and they've gotten good performances all around. They have the number 1 offense, a top 10 pitching staff, and there's nothing that stands out as a big problem right now. We have 2 B+, and the first one's going to the Twins. They're 6 games over 500, but 2 weeks ago they were 6 games under. As of Saturday, May 4th, they've won 12 straight games, saving their season that was in the tank early on. 11th in offense, 16th in pitching. What stands out here is their top 4 bullpen, and on the other side, they have the 6th worst starting staff. Also, they're not very clutch at the plate, bottom 5 with runners in scoring position. The other B+ goes to the Cubs. Just like Minnesota, they're 6 games over. Another team that had decent expectations, but people didn't know just what to think yet, and they've shown they're gonna hang with the best all year. Top 10 offense, pitching is just middle of the pack, but the starters are 4th best, led, of course, by Shota Imanaga and his insane start. And that doesn't even include Justin Steele, who's only made 1 start. They just need to tighten up that bottom 10 bullpen. Only 1 B, and that belongs to the Tigers. There was buzz around this team in the offseason. They came out of the gate hot, and since then, they've been pretty average. They've had offensive issues in recent years, and this year, they're not too bad, but still bottom half. That despite Riley Green emerging as a star. Their pitching is carrying the team, 4th in baseball. Their starters and bullpen both doing great. Tarek Skubal has an ERA under 2. Andrew Chafin and Alex Lang dominating in the bullpen. I got 2 B-, one going to the Red Sox. Everyone assumed they'd be in last place once again, and so far they're holding it together. 2 games over 500. The offense is right in the middle at number 15, but their pitching has been tops in the league all year. Their bullpen very good at number 8, but no starting staff has been better than Boston's. Cutter Crawford, Garrett Whitlock, Tanner Houck. Let's see if they can keep it up. The other B- goes to Washington. It seemed like this team was on the rise, even after finishing 2023 under 500 by 20 games. This year, they're showing some life, standing at 16 and 17. They're not really doing anything well, but aren't awful either. Bottom half in every category across the board, but still, they're hanging around and being relevant. I got 2 C+, and we'll start with the Mariners. They're in first place in a very weak division as of right now. 3 games over 500, and they can thank their pitching for that. They're number 2 in baseball, 3rd best starting staff, 5th best bullpen. So you figure their offense must be sputtering, and it is, number 24 in the league. Surprisingly, they're middle of the pack with runners in scoring position. They just aren't in that position enough to score runs. They have the pieces in place, but Josh Rojas is the only guy doing anything. Julio Rodriguez, once again, is off to a very slow start. The other C+ goes to the Mets. I thought they were going to phone in this season, try to sign some pieces and make a run for it next season. And when they started 0-5, that seemed about right. Now, they're 16 and 17, 17th in offense, but top 10 in pitching. Their bullpen carrying most of that load. Definitely enjoying getting Edwin Diaz back, but also getting great performances from Adam Ottavino, Jorge Lopez, and Reed Garrett. I have 2 Cs, and the champs get one of them, the Rangers. They're just 2 games over 500. That high-powered offense cracking the top 10, actually sitting at number 2 with runners in scoring position, so you know that offense is going to be there. They lost some pieces on the mound and still have some long-term injuries, but they're still hanging around the top half. It hasn't been a great start, but they're poised for a run. The other C goes to the Padres. They lost a lot in the offseason, tried to recoup some of it, and so far I think they've done pretty well. They sit at 500, their offense being top 5 in baseball. Jurickson Profar headlining that effort, stepping into Juan Soto's shoes and hitting .333 with a .934 OPS. The pitching is dragging them down, 20th in baseball, and that's despite a great start from Dylan Cease. It's Joe Musgrove and Michael King pulling the staff down. I got 6 C-, and we're going to start with the Rays. They're 2 games under 500. Remember last year, after 34 games, they were 27 and 7. They're bottom 10 in offense and pitching, their starters being decent at number 16, but their bullpen has been atrocious, last place in the league. That pin was 12th last year, so that's your chief point of concern. Moving on to the Blue Jays, they're currently battling the Rays for last place in the AL East, and they've got the same record, 2 games under 500. Like the Rays, their starters have been good and their bullpen has been among the worst. And that offense has been atrocious, which is weird to say about this team. Second to last in the league. Honestly, it's amazing they're even close to a 500 team right now. The Reds also get a C-, a team with a lot of promise, but so far haven't really clicked. 1 game under 500, and stat-wise, nothing really jumps off the page. They're pretty average all around, but one really positive thing is their starting pitching. This has been their kryptonite in the past, and right now, they're 12th in the league. Nick Lodolo has been great, but Green, Ashcraft, and Abbott have also been solid. The Reds are also 1-5 in one-run games, so they really need to catch a break. The Cardinals are also in the C- range, sitting 3 games under 500, a big improvement over last year for sure, but still, this team isn't scaring anyone. Their pitching was full of holes they tried to patch, and so far, they've done pretty well, pretty close to the middle, but that offense just isn't there. That should be the Cardinals' strong suit, but they're sitting 3rd to last in baseball, also 3rd to last with runners in scoring position. This offense is probably going to wake up, just not sure if that pitching can hold up. Staying in the Central, we also have the Pirates. Currently, 4 games under 500. This team's got some talent, but can't seem to sustain anything. Their pitching has been great, led by Jared Jones, 11th in baseball and a top 10 starting staff. But like the Cardinals, the offense isn't there, 27th in the league, so they need to step it up if they want a shot at the wild card. The last C- goes to the Giants, and I could have gone even lower given some of the expectations for this team. They're 4 games under 500, and going into it, everyone said they had a great rotation. So far, they've been okay, 15th in baseball, carried by Logan Webb and Jordan Hicks, but right now, being dragged down by Blake Snell. They have a bottom 10 offense, no surprise, but they also have the 2nd worst bullpen, dragging their pitching all the way down to 24th. So, C- might be charitable, but they're still only 4 games under 500, so they can still turn it around. The one and only D goes to the Diamondbacks. I said this team has the best starting rotation in baseball, especially once they get Eduardo Rodriguez back. But so far, they've been one of the worst, 22nd in baseball, and their bullpen hasn't been much better. On a good note, their offense has been excellent, 8th place, and that's even without Corbin Carroll doing anything. It's a D, but it's an optimistic D, assuming their pitching comes back to normal. I'm giving a D- to the Angels, 9 games under 500, already having lost Rendon and Trout by early May, but that offense is still around mid-tier. It's that pitching that's failing them. Bottom 5 starting staff, bottom 5 bullpen, this team's just going nowhere. Let's finish with 4 Fs, starting with the White Sox. Aside from sweeping the Rays, they've had a miserable season. 19 games under 500, last in offense, third to last in pitching. Their best aspect is their bullpen, and that's still bottom 10. This team might end up with the worst record in baseball. The Astros also get an F. No surprise. 9 games under 500. The offense has been mid-tier. Bullpen is below average, which is weird to see. Ryan Presley and Josh Hader both having ERAs over 5. And despite heroics by Ronel Blanco, guys like Hunter Brown and Spencer Arrighetti are dragging the starters' ERA down to 4th worst in the league. They're also 1-8 in one-run games, which tells me they're getting unlucky and the back end of their bullpen is letting them down. But that may not last. Unlike the White Sox, this team could end up making the playoffs. The Marlins get an F, and they're already selling off pieces of their team. They're bottom 6 across the board. They are decent with runners in scoring position, but it hasn't led to enough runs to make a dent. Their pitching is 2nd worst. Trevor Rogers, Jesus Luzardo, Edward Cabrera all having ERAs over 6. AJ Puck is over 9. And when I picked this team to finish last, I never thought it would be this bad. The last F goes to the Rockies. 17 games under 500. Their offense hasn't been good, but not the worst. They've gotten good years out of Ryan McMahon and Brenton Doyle, but both Nolan Jones and Chris Bryant had slow starts and then got hurt. And, as usual, their pitching is awful, last in baseball, the worst starting staff. Kyle Freeland having an ERA over 13, so it looks like another lost season in Denver. So that's all I got. Let me know what you think, if you agree or disagree, and what grade you would give your favorite team. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, and if you're new here and want to see more like this, please give me a sub. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.